Barry, I couldn't leave without just saying a little message to you. Well done for all the years that you've contributed to young people in Hatfield. It's been awesome. I'm really privileged to have been shared a tiny part of that with you in Brakes Manor, up in my little office that was the place of so many fond memories and so many laughs. Not least when we had a visit from royalty, and you decided to bring the Duke of Gloucester up those tiny little stairs to my office. And you took great delight at seeing me struggling, knowing whether I should be curtsying or saluting, or I'll never ever forget that, and I'm sure you won't either.
Barry, I'd just like to say one thing to you, mate. You've been hard-working, dedicated, and a very, very good friend, and an excellent copper. So I look forward to seeing you again in the future, and all the best for your retirement. And I shall miss you. But having said that, I'll be ringing you up next week to get hold of you in your new role.
As one clerk to another, Barry, it's been a privilege to know you, and thanks very much for inviting me along this evening.
Well, I've worked for Barry for 20 years. It's been a real pleasure. Over the years, we've had a lot of ups and downs. We've seen the Brakes go from a pit to a lovely building, all thanks to him and his endless fundraising. But it's been a pleasure working with him, and I hope he has many years of retirement. But no doubt he'll be back every day telling us what would never happen my way. But have a happy retirement, Barry.
It's been great knowing you, Barry, over so many years from 1970. I think it's great that you've had this wonderful celebratory night at Hatfield House with so many friends and colleagues to wish you well. And I wish you sincerely a very long, happy and rewarding retirement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It really is a great pleasure to be able to have Barry this evening and to celebrate and thank him for the invaluable work he's done for the young people of Hatfield. I have known Barry and been involved with Brakes during the whole of his time there, over 30 years. And during this time, he's shown a tireless dedication to youth work and made a huge difference to the lives of so many of the young people of Hatfield. Many of Barry's friends and colleagues are here tonight, and there really is nobody Barry doesn't know extremely well, because he's had quite a few careers before he settled down.
Oh, yes,
so
yes.
It's lovely to have met so many of you tonight and to hear so much about him. Maybe not more than you wanted. Tonight to welcome all of you here and to thank you for the support that you've always given him and has made all the difference, I think, to his time, especially at Brakes. Now, I think you may, most of you will know already, but you may like to know a little bit about Barry. As a 16-year-old boy, he joined a youth group at Downs Farm, Hatfield. I don't know if you know about Downs Farm, but it was a farm buildings, I think, wasn't it? And Barry, with some fellow members, helped convert these farm buildings with paint and hammers and ladders. It was there that he became a volunteer leader worker. He then moved to Brakes, where he volunteered part-time for 10 years, whilst holding down a variety of jobs, unsure of his ultimate career.
That's true.
When Barry was taken on by the Hertfordshire County Council as a youth employment assistant, it became clear that he had a very special vocation, which was helping young people. He helped them to find jobs, fill in forms, issue national insurance cards, and generally encourage them. Moving to Potter's Bar Careers Office, he attended a day release course every Thursday, as well as his job, and finally he qualified in public administration after a great deal of hard work and dedication. Still with the Hertfordshire County Council, he tried social work, spent 2 years with the British Transport Police, and then trained as a PE teacher, so there were about 4 qualifications by now. And then finally, the job came up that had been waiting for him. It was the job of warden at Brakes, and it was as if he had come home, returning to the centre where he had worked part-time for 10 years. In 1980, Barry took over the management of Brakes Youth Club. He was well qualified. He was a senior youth worker with a full professional training. Brakes had become thoroughly run down with a questionable reputation, but this very quickly changed under Barry's management. Brakes Manor, as it now became, was to serve the young people of Hatfield, providing them not only with a safe environment into which let off steam, but also stimulating a programme of activities. Now, all these parents in Hatfield used to be able to say, I'm going down to Brakes, and the children would say that, and the parents would feel relieved, because, they weren't hanging around the town and being naughty. So they
And
knew
most
that
of them
they
have been members before.
and they'd been members before. So this was a great service that Hatfield provided at Brakes. And over the next 33 years, Barry was to face many challenges, including arson, remember the arson, fire and floods. And I'm not exaggerating. There were inevitable financial constraints, even then, as well as maintaining the fabric of that fine old building, because it is a lovely, lovely place, and you looked after it so well. He worked tirelessly to upgrade the facilities, introducing motorcycle skills, maintenance, cooking, music, drama, group, Christmas, pantomimes, computers, always trying to keep up with the needs and requirements of the members. He set up sponsored rides, field trips to different parts of the country, as well as, it's exhausting actually even thinking about what you did. You did it all, and it was wonderful. And even the special, even the going to Holland with the group, wasn't it? Exchanges with our twin town, Zurich.
Yes.
And then, in addition, in 1988, Barry became a special constable, and I've met a few sergeants and constables this evening, so, they're all here, and a special inspector for Welwyn Hatfield Community Safety Partnership. Like that. Truly, he is a life dedicated to working with young people and supporting his community in not just one sphere, but through a whole variety of complementary services. Now, to quote his own words, I'm just about to finish because it's his turn. He says, when accepting a long service award from Hertfordshire County Council, for me, it's been an absolute pleasure working in the youth service and seeing so many young people develop their potential. Youth work is about supporting young people through what can be a very difficult transition from childhood to adulthood. It is about fostering good personal relationships with them and encouraging them to take part in a wide range of positive activities, gaining skills and experience to help them in later life. Now, I would like just to thank everybody who's come, to thank David and Iona, and I think we've got another solo. We're going to have a lovely couple of solos from them afterwards. And thank you our home team and everybody who's helped, and the management team for doing the food. So thank you, and Barry. I think we've got a little thing I've been asked to present to you, which is here, which is Kirsten. Can you help? Is it Kirsten here? This is from.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure who this is. It's from everybody. I don't know if it's from.
Can I open the plate?
I think so.
Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Okay, I'll. Yes. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to read this, otherwise I'll probably make mistakes along the way. So bear with me. It's difficult to imagine that 53 years. It's 53 years since I first set foot in Downs Farm Youth Club. It's equally hard to imagine now that initially I had no intention of staying. However, after a very short space of time, I found myself getting more and more involved in what was happening, and I decided to stay. At that time, youth work was in its infancy and was totally voluntary apart from the few full-time workers who were employed by management committees. It was a period in time whereupon everything was possible. The youth service was new, exciting, and full of new challenges and experiences. The world seemed full of opportunity, and for me, it was offering all the personal development needs we talk about today. Realising in my late teens that this was the type of work I'd like to be a part of, I began to search for training opportunities that would enable me to achieve my ambition. my mind was set on a career in youth work, and the rest you know. Throughout the years, the number of young people entering the doors of both Brakes and Downs Farm is difficult to quantify. But I guess it must now be thousands. And to have had the opportunity to see those young people grow and develop their potential and become active citizens within their communities can only be described as a joy. Having a role to play in the world of young people has been a privilege, and to still be accepted now, nearing 70, is a real compliment. I believe that reinforces the notion that age is not important, but the ability to relate is. One of the things that always please me is when past members visit, and in July 2 former members, now married and living in the Isle of Man, called in to see me. Pam had been an active member of the drama group and spoke with affection of her experiences. Frank made reference to a trip he had made with me to the Junior Leaders Regiment in Dorset and spoke fondly of the fun he had had whilst with them. He then referred to the journey back when we stopped at Stonehenge. Those were the days when you could get close enough to physically touch the structures. He then mentioned a photograph that I had taken of him seemingly holding aloft one of the large stones that formed one of the arches. I then asked, how old was you when you was on that trip? He said, 15. I said, how old are you now? He said, 62. Just goes to show, 47 years and they remember that sort of experience. It is strange to think, however, that all this could have been so different, because in 1979, when I went for the full-time post at Brakes, the management committee were unsure whether to offer me the job. I think the chair is around here somewhere. There were two issues on which they were undecided. The first, was I too old at 35? The second, who is that? You're showing yourself up. With my career choices so far, they weren't sure, and they were wondering whether I would go the distance. I would like to think now that they made the right choice. Over the years, I've met some truly wonderful people, many of whom are here this evening: management committee members, staff, volunteers, partner agencies, local authority members, friends, and of course the members themselves. They have all been, in one way or another, a source of energy, inspiration and support to both the organisation and indeed I. So to them I owe a great sense of gratitude. The County Council, I also give thanks. The county has given me the opportunity to pursue my education both in public administration and in teaching. It has also enabled me to have 40 years of full employment and fulfil two passions, the youth service and the police. For me, this has been the county of opportunity. So to everyone here, thank you all for coming and sharing this event with me. Please continue to share your experiences with each other and enjoy the remainder of the evening. Finally, I would like to thank all those who have made this evening possible, and in particular, Lady Salisbury, for hosting this event here in the majestic splendour of Hatfield House. I feel most honoured.
Hi Barry, just want to say the very best retirement to you. You've been a fantastic pal, and especially thanks for all the great times we had in the gym together. I promise I won't forget our dinner. Okay, so have a fantastic long retirement, and I'll see you around, right?
We'd just like to say, Barry, congratulations for 50 wonderful years at the Brakes, and good luck in the future.
Barry? Barry what? Barry who? Clark? No, never heard of him.
Well done, Barry. They'll miss you, all these youngsters in Hatfield.
She don't know what she's talking about. She's drunk.
Love
As usual.
and kisses. Love and kisses, Janet.
Who is she? We don't even know her. Bye, Barry.
Bye,
Take
Barry.
care. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi Barry, thank you for your friendship and club.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure coming here tonight to wish Barry Clark a happy retirement after 50 years of service. As chairman of the County Council, I was privileged a few months ago to hand him his 40-year certificate for work for the County Council, and I'm equally pleased to be here tonight. It's been a wonderful evening, and I'm glad I was invited. Thank you.
Congratulations for reaching this position. You've done really well with all the youth in Hatfield. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Barry.
Well, Barry, I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving, and I hope you have a lovely retirement. Although you don't like the word retirement, do you? And I wish you all the best, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Hello Barry, it's just to remind you that I was here to say cheerio to you at the end of 50 odd years. I hope to see a bit more of you in the future. And they asked me to say a few kind words. I couldn't think of any, so you've got me instead. Bye.
All your years of service to the community here in Hatfield, I wish you all the best in the future. And keep up the good work, because I'm sure you're not going to retire at this precise moment. And I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. A very enjoyable evening. Thank you, Barry.